All right. Welcome back to WMMA now with your host, Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with a special two-fight preview. We're going to UFC on ESPN number 20, ESPN Plus number 20, aka UFC Singapore. Got two ladies fights, both of them in the strawweight division. First one I want to talk about is actually higher up on the prelims. You have Randa, the Quiet Storm Markos, taking on Ashley, the Spider Monkey Yoder. Markos coming in, somewhat late replacement, replacing Yan Xiaonan, who had to withdraw due to an ankle injury. Looking at their stats, got Markos is 9-7-1. Yoder is 7-4. Markos is coming off a unanimous decision loss to Claudia Gadelha, preceded by a armbar submission win over Angela Hill, both fights this year. Yoder is coming off a unanimous decision win over Shiri Kondo, preceded by a split decision win over Amanda Cooper. Markos is the older fighter, 34-32 for Yoder. Yoder is the taller fighter, 5'7" 5'4", and has a 3-inch reach advantage, 66.5 inches to Markos's 63.5. This fight is what I want to call consistently inconsistent. That's a good way to describe both of them, particularly Markos, who hasn't won or lost two fights in a row since around 2013. You look at her record and it's just win-loss, win-loss. The only thing that broke the pattern at all was a draw a little over a year ago with Marina Rodriguez. Yoder has really, on the other hand, has really struggled with her time in the UFC. She came in off of the Ultimate Fighter 23, didn't get cut or didn't get signed to the UFC off that season. Went to Invicta, got a win over Amber Brown, came to the UFC, suffered 3 straight losses, and now she's got 2 straight wins, finally. So she may have finally found her stride, but it has been against, the lower end of the division. Compared to Markos, who really only loses to top fighters, but doesn't necessarily beat the greatest fighters. I mean, her best win in the UFC would be Carla Esparza, and that was a split decision that a lot of people argue was a hometown decision. They're both primarily grapplers, primarily wrestlers. Yoder tends to like to do enough to get you down and then spin around to take the back and work for the rear naked choke. Markos is very basic wrestling. Neither of them have really done a whole lot with their striking. Markos has that weird herky-jerky style. She takes a really low stance. It honestly probably hurts her striking and hurts her takedowns more than anything. This is just a weird fight. It's going to be a weird one to watch. I'm going with Randa Markos on this. I mean, like I said, she goes back and forth, win-loss, win-loss. She's coming off a loss, so she's probably due for a win here. And I would say she's just at a slight level above Ashley Yoder at this point in their careers. The next fight is the one I'm more looking forward to. It's Aleksandra Stitch Albu taking on Loma Lookboonmee. This is the UFC debut of Lookboonmee, who's moving up from atomweight, coming off a win in Invicta. Albu is 3-1, coming off the first loss of her career. She lost a fast submission via rear naked choke to Emily Whitmire 8 months ago. Lookboonmee is coming off a win over Monique Adriani at Invicta about 4 months back. Preceded that by a loss little less than a year ago to Suinam Boonsorn and Full Metal Dojo. Looking at the stats, Albu's the older fighter, 29 years to 23. Albu is 1 inch taller than Lookboonmee, 5'2 to 5'1. They have the same reach at 62 inches. I will say, though, having watched the weigh-ins, Albu is definitely the bigger fighter here. Lookboonmee weighed in at like 114 exactly. So when you weigh in a full pound under the championship weight, you know you're small for that division. Either that or, well, for most fighters, if they do that, it means they really got their weight cut down. But for Lookboonmee, you look at her next to Albu and you see she's an atom weight coming up to fight in strawweight. One thing I wanted to mention is that this is like the third out of the last 4 UFC events where they take these matchups and it's basically someone who gets by on natural ability, strength, and athleticism versus someone who is very technical. Last week it was Robertson versus Barber. I forget who the last one was before that, but this is another one. You have Albu, who is like an Instagram fitness model who took up MMA, compared to Lookboonmee, who has been training in Muay Thai since she was 5 years old. Trained out of her family's gym. Now she's with Tiger Muay Thai. She has over 200 Muay Thai fights in her career, and she's 23 years old. So obviously she's been fighting since she was a kid. Very solid technical Muay Thai, with all the advantages and drawbacks to that. She does tend to leave her chin out a little bit, but so does Albu. Lookboonmee tends to throw out her leg kicks without setting them up, mostly relying on the idea that the speed and the strength of the kicks is enough. I mean, that's very typical Muay Thai. Albu is really sloppy and strong. She throws a lot of haymakers, hoping to get that, and if she doesn't land or she's not doing so good on the feet, then she chooses to take her opponent down. As far as the takedowns go, they're going to be very different. Albu is mostly about strength. Lookboonmee's takedowns are almost all trips and dumps from the Muay Thai clinch. I mean, that's basically it. She uses her Muay Thai to get the fight to the ground, and then when she's on the ground, you could honestly look at her fights and say that she will sit in your half guard and land punches and elbows, but she'll stay very close to you, like almost like she's working a clinch on the ground. This is one of those, I mean, yeah, it basically comes down to the stronger, more naturally athletic fighter, and then you have the solid technical fighter. In this one, well, last time I picked Anderson over Barber based on technical ability, and I got that one wrong. But this one, I feel a little more confident in picking Lookboonmee. And that's who I'm going with based on just, she is technical enough to beat the Albus of this division. The real question is going to be, what all can she do in the UFC strawweight division? She was small at atomweight. I mean, she's 5'1". She looks small at atomweight. She's going to be very small at strawweight. It's like someone in another video said, I think it was the Vivisection, they said it's like, hopefully they don't treat her like they treated Sahi Ham and just feed her all the big fighters. It'll be it'll just, a lot of questions about how they'll be able to, what kind of matchups they're going to give her. Because, I mean, she's 3-1, so she's had 4 fights. She's still inexperienced in MMA. The stand-up game is there. The ground game is still questionable. But this is the one I'm looking forward to, mostly because of Loma Lookboonmee. I am picking her to win. It's just a matter of what do they do with her after that. Unless they open up an atomweight division, she's just going to have a hard time. And, of course, if you've watched this channel long enough, you know that I am probably the biggest advocate of an atomweight division in the UFC. Actually, I probably am the biggest. Yeah, I feel like I am the biggest advocate of an atomweight UFC division. Uh, Hopefully, this is a sign that they're closer to that, and hopefully, Lookboonmee doesn't suffer too much at strawweight because of that. Anyway, that's it. That's UFC Singapore. Only 2 fights. There's supposed to be a third fight. Julia Avila versus, I want to say, Melissa Gatto. I know whoever Avila's original opponent was supposed to be dropped out, and then they couldn't find a replacement in time, so they canceled the fight altogether. So leaving only 2 fights. This is just a weird card. It's like the UFC just threw this together willy-nilly. I mean, I think Lookboonmee is the only Asian on a card in Southeast Asia. I'm probably going to sleep through most of these and just watch them on replay myself, which I normally don't do, but probably what I'm going to do with these. Anyway, let me know what you think about the fights in the comments down below. Likes always appreciated, of course, and hey, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to WMMA Scene Now, the best, fastest growing women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Hit that bell for notifications so you know what's going on, and we'll see you next time.